Hi friends, this is Yamini Sharma and I welcome you back to my channel The Saffron Box. I really hope that you all are keeping safe, keeping healthy and taking care of your health, taking care of your near and dear ones. Remember that the worst of transits, the worst of dashas, everything can be endured if you're keeping healthy, if you are with your near and dear ones. So I think these tough times, these challenging times, I'm sure they are not going to last for a very long time, but they have taught us to value our health, to value our family, to value our near and dear ones, right? So I just hope that things get better soon, and wishing everybody good health, good luck in whatever they are doing. I'll begin this video. And today in this video I'm going to be talking about the transit of Mars into the sign of Cancer. Mars is going to be debilitating, going to be in the sign of debilitation, that is Cancer, from the 2nd of June onwards till the 20th of July. So it's a period of about 1.5 months, more than 1.5 months, where Mars is going to be in debility. So I'm going to be talking about what is, what are the important dates of this transit, when does Mars transit through which nakshatra, and what is going to be the effect of all this. And before that, I'm also going to be talking about what is going to be the general effect. What does Mars in Cancer actually mean? Okay. And of course the effect on all the 12 signs. So you can check the timestamps also. I do keep timestamps in the description box, in the comment section as well. You can go on directly to the sign you want to see and check the results as well, right? So I'll go through the dates of the transit of Mars. Mars enters the sign of Cancer on the 2nd of June 2021 in the nakshatra of Punarvasu. So we have the last charan of Punarvasu, the last quarter of Punarvasu in the sign of Cancer. Mars is going to be there for about 5 odd days, and thereafter Mars moves into the Pushya nakshatra, which is a Saturnian nakshatra. And one thing which is very important about this is that Pushya's lord, that is Saturn, is sitting directly opposite in the sign of Capricorn. So Saturn is anyways aspecting this Mars. Okay, so here also the energy is pretty pronounced. And then Mars enters the nakshatra of Ashlesha on the 29th of June. Ashlesha nakshatra, as we all know, is a very it is not taken as a very positive nakshatra. Mercury owned nakshatra. Anyways, Mars and Mercury are not friends, are not friendly towards each other. Ashlesha is also one of the Gandamul nakshatras, and the energy here is quite hidden. It's quite sudden energy. The symbol of Ashlesha is anyways a serpent, or a pair of serpents, two serpents intertwined. Okay, so here the energy gets very difficult to handle as well. So from 29th of June onwards, the energy could be a little difficult to handle wherever the sign of Cancer is falling in your charts. Then on the 20th of July, finally Mars exits Cancer, moves on to the next sign of Leo in the nakshatra of Magha. Now here also the Gandamul theme continues, because Mars will be moving on to Magha, which is also a Gandamul nakshatra, and especially the first charan is, it has the maximum effect of the Gandamul, of the Gandant effect, right? So that is an energy which we can talk about later. But here, while Mars is in the sign of, is in the nakshatra of Pushya, Pushya is about nurturing. Pushya is about nourishing others. Okay, and the lord of Pushya is also directly aspecting Mars from the sign of Capricorn. So here one could see some benefic effect as such for people at large. some hope, some improvement in the situations, in the conditions that we all are in. But when Mars moves to Ashlesha, that is a little dangerous time period, because you don't know how things are going to go out of hand. So there could be a situation of disputes, of fights, etc. So this is at a mundane level, and somehow it translates on to the personal, individual level as well. But for this, I'll explain what Mars is first in the sign of Cancer, what Mars is like. So you see, Mars is a soldier, it's a Senapati, commander-in-chief in the planetary cabinet. And the commander-in-chief, the Senapati, wants to be in the outer world, in the field of action, passing orders, carrying on his authority, his responsibility, right? Leading people. So Mars in Capricorn is the actual place, is the place of exaltation. So Mars exalts in the sign of Capricorn. And that is where it loves to be. It exalts over there. Okay? So the soldier likes to be in the Karmsthan. Capricorn or Makar is the sign of work, is the sign of responsibility, of carrying out our dharma in the outer world. But on the contrary, Mars is going to be in debilitation in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a soft sign, soft feminine sign, watery sign, ruled by a soft moon, feminine planet. And here, it's like telling the soldier to drop his weapons, drop his sword, and come back home. And maybe just take care of the domestic duties. Okay? Something which he is not cut out to be. So Mars, as a soldier, how will he feel? He feels frustrated. He feels angered. Okay? So there's a kind of irritation which comes in. Mars is a fiery planet. And imagine all that red hot ball of fire that Mars is. And it has to be near the water. It has to be in the water. How will it feel? So that is the energy which Mars in the sign of Cancer exhibits or lets out. There are chances of, getting irritated. Taking out your emotional baggage sometimes. Emotionally expressing yourself, but too aggressively. Not being able to understand others. Being too assertive. Being too harsh towards others' emotions, towards your family as such. Mars is the planet of vigor. Mars is the planet of energy, dynamism. So maybe taking out all that energy, but where do you take it out? You take it out at the wrong place. Okay. So now here it also depends on the dignity of Mars, on how Mars is as such in your horoscope. So if Mars is well placed in your horoscope, the malefic effects kind of reduce. You don't feel the malefic effects very strongly. But if Mars is anyways in debility, or Mars is not in a very good position in your birth chart, in your natal chart, then these effects can be felt, of course. But it also depends on the kind of dasha which you're going through. If you're going through a dasha of Mars, then yes, the effects are pronounced. You'll have to see where Mars is placed in your natal chart. Okay, where does the sign of Cancer fall in your natal chart, and then accordingly check out the effects. So I'll go on talking about the signs, all the 12 signs from Aries till Pisces. What are the effects? But before that, I would also like to mention that Mars in the sign of Cancer is going to be aspected by two planets. First of all, Saturn, as I mentioned earlier. Saturn is in the sign of Capricorn and retrograde currently. So Saturn aspects Mars. There's a mutual aspect over there. And Ketu as well. Ketu is again a fiery planet, a malefic. It's like similar Mars-like energy. So Ketu is in the sign of Scorpio and in a trine from Mars. So that Ketu energy is also going to be felt. Ketu is giving an aspect there as well. So there is, though there is neutrality between Mars and Saturn and Mars and Ketu, but still some amount of effect can definitely be felt. Right, so I'll begin with the effect of Mars in Cancer for Aries. So if you have Aries ascendant, or you can also check out your moon sign, Mars is the lord of the first house, that is Mars is your Lagnesh, and Mars also is the ruler of your 8th house, and it is going to be in the 4th house of the sign of Cancer. 4th house is the house of your material comfort, of your home, your constructed property, vehicles, your assets. On the other side, on the Sushma side, it's an indicator of your mother. Okay, so here one could see some amount of disturbance. There could be a disturbance in your relationship with your mother. There are chances that your mother's health could suffer if she's in that age and stage. You might feel irritated at home with the home environment. You may feel, you may take out anger, unnecessary anger at home within the family members, which could cause tension, which could cause stress. So there is a requirement for you to actually keep calm, keep composed, manage your anger, manage your energy, take care of your parents, take care of your assets properly, and make sure that you do not go about any kind of a impulsive decision regarding your property or your vehicles, your immovable assets, etc. That is very important, because there are chances, when Mars is in Cancer, you just might get irritated, get impulsive, and make some investment which you may not like, which you may regret later. So be careful regarding your investments, regarding your house, your vehicle, etc. And try to postpone things for some time, at least till Mars leaves the sign of Cancer. Then we move on to the next sign of the next sign is of Taurus. See, for Taurus, Mars is the 7th lord, is the 12th lord, and it is going to be in debilitation in the 3rd house of communication, of courage, bravery, of your siblings, of of your neighbors. There are chances that there could be miscommunication or some kind of hassle with your neighbors, with your siblings. You could feel that there are chances of some heated argument with your siblings. There could be some issues like expense related argument with your sibling if you're living in a joint family. Mars is also your 7th lord, so there are chances of miscommunication or arguments with your spouse also. Okay, so you could feel that blow hot blow cold kind of a problem with your spouse. Saturn is also aspecting Mars from the 9th, so there could be issues there. You could also see that your expenses are rising. You might be spending on some unnecessary travel plan. There could be some unnecessary travel plan, some short journey which you might have to undertake, which does not bear too much of fruit, which is not productive at the end of the day. So chances of expenses, chances of heated arguments, as I mentioned, with your younger sibling, especially if you have a brother. So if you have a younger brother, there could be a problem over there. So you have to, again, as I said, manage your communication and manage your anger. Be patient, give others time to react and not snap out of anger, right? Then we move on to the next sign of Gemini. Now for Gemini, Mars is the 6th lord, rules over the 6th house, rules over the 11th house as well. And it is in debilitation in the sign of Cancer, that is your 2nd house. Here there are, the 2nd house represents your family, your resources, your family money, your speech. And here there could be chances that you say something hurtful to people. Maybe within your family, your speech hurts people. So you'll have to be mindful of that. You'll also have to take care of your health, your eating habits. So maybe till now you were following some good eating habits, and now you just let go, you just leave it, and you say, okay, now I'm done with eating healthy, and now I'm done with my disciplined lifestyle, disciplined health habits, etc. So time to keep patience, maintain a good diet, do not spoil your eating habits, be mindful of your intake. And there could also be chances of money handling. So family money or your in-laws money, there are chances where you could be handling others' money, your family money or your in-laws money or your spouse's money, and this could lead to some kind of an issue. So I would advise you to stay away from such situations if you can. Then we move on to the next sign of Cancer. So for Cancer, Mars rules your 5th house and your 10th house. And Mars is in the sign of debilitation, that is Cancer, that is your ascendant, 1st house. So being the 5th lord, being the 10th lord, in debility in the 1st could actually mean that there could be issues at work. Okay, you could feel aggressive, you could feel impatient at work, you may not be getting results as you should be, and you get impatient, you get assertive, you try to assert your point of view to your superiors, to your bosses at work, and that could pose a problem. So take care of any misdirected anger, behavioral issues, because Mars is in the Lagna itself. So there could be chances of any behavioral problem. Suddenly you lose your fuse. So those kind of situations can arise. You could also be a little worried about your children, and maybe be a little more than strict with your children, or try some new way of handling your children or children's studies, etc. So be smoothly transition into any kind of a role or any kind of a situation which life demands of you. So you want to express your point with your superiors at work, do it with a lot of patience, do it properly, don't do it in a way which can hurt others or bruise somebody's ego. This is not a good time to get into any conflict with anybody. Similarly, it goes with your children as well, progeny as well. Also take care of your communication with your spouse, because there could be some temperamental differences there. So overall, there's a need to be less aggressive and take your time to express yourself. So things will fall in place, but they may not fall in place because of your assertive behavior. Then we move on to the next sign of Leo. So for Leo, Mars is the 4th lord as well as the 9th lord. Okay, it rules over the 4th and the 9th houses. And 4th house is the house of comforts. 9th house is the house of education, long-term journeys, your father. 4th house is also the house of your mother. And Mars debilitates in the 12th. in the sign of Cancer. So there could be expenses on parents. There could be expenses which you might incur traveling away from home, on journeys, on some kind of charities, on some spiritual organizations, etc. This is also a very good time for Leo natives to actually focus on their spiritual growth. See, the 9th house lord, that is the ruler of the sign of Aries, Mars, is going to the 12th. You can actually do your dharma of moving towards spirituality. Look within, read good literature, connect with a good guru, etc. So that is how you should be using your time, using your energy. Otherwise, if your chart also indicates so, there are chances of medical expenditure, of expenditure on tests, on medicines, etc. A visit to the hospital, maybe a short stay at the hospital. So I'm not trying to scare you, but yeah, if your chart also indicates otherwise, there could be such things happening. Okay, so be aware of your spiritual growth. Keep your mind in the right direction and stay away from any kind of unnecessary issues, unnecessary tensions, etc. That is very important to keep sanity here during this time. Then we move on to the next sign of Virgo. For Virgo, Mars is the 3rd lord as well as the 8th lord. Not a very positive planet also. In fact, it's a functional malefic for the sign of Virgo, for Virgo ascendant as such. So here Mars debilitates in the 11th house, your house of gains. This is a challenging transit for Virgo. There could be expenses, there could be financial requirements, there could be expenses on short-term journeys, sudden expenditure, because there's an 8th house connection as well. So sudden expenditure, you suddenly have to dole out a lot of money for things which you have not expected at all. So be mindful, keep a tight check on your money as such, which is very, very important. There could be a lot of mental worries, and somewhere within you feel changes. Somewhere within you feel that things around you are changing. Maybe you witness some major events around you which actually transform you. Yeah. So for Virgo, this is a challenging time. Health wise, be careful. If you have any chronic disease, make sure that you are in touch with your doctor, that you're carrying on regular health checkups, etc. Then we move on to the next sign of Libra. Now for Libra, Mars is the 2nd lord, that is, it rules the 2nd house of wealth, of family, and it is also the 7th lord of spouse, of partnership, marriage. And Mars debilitates in the 10th house. Okay, quite interesting for Libra ascendant as such. You might feel that whatever you are putting in your business, or wherever you are putting in your money, your effort, your resources, you aren't getting as much returns as you should be. So you might be inclined to make certain changes in your professional work, in the way you work, in the way you carry out your business. So you have to be a little mindful over there. You could, be taking, or you could feel like taking major decisions regarding money, which also need to be checked, regarding partnership. So please do not be impulsive over here regarding wealth, regarding your business. This is a very important time where you should conserve your resources. conserve your wealth. So don't make any such decisions or sudden twists, sudden turns in your business which you're not able to handle in the long run. This is especially for people who are doing their work, who are doing their own work, own professionally, who are self-employed as such. And regarding your relationship with your spouse also, there could be chances that you lose your anger, lose your temper on very small issues. So sudden bouts of disharmony, sudden bouts of anger within your marriage are also indicated. So in short, take care of your wealth, take care of your marriage also. Do not lose your temper and do not make impulsive decisions. That is in fact a general remedy for this entire transit for all these signs as such. Then we move on to the next sign of Scorpio. So for Scorpio, Mars is your Lagnesh. Okay, it is also your 6th lord. So it rules over the 1st and the 6th houses, and it is debilitating in the sign of Cancer. That is your 9th house. 9th house of your father, of your religion, your higher beliefs, your fortune, the spiritual influences, your long-term journeys. 9th is the Bhagyasthan as well. So now here, Mars, when it debilitates over here, you could feel that maybe a long journey which you have undertaken, all the effort which you have made because of your work, is not fructifying, isn't giving you the results which it should be. Okay, so you may feel that there is a certain lack of luck factor. Lady Luck isn't shining bright, right? So need to make more efforts, need to rely more on your hard work, your own efforts, your own skill sets, competencies, abilities, rather than relying on luck factor. So make sure that whatever you're doing, if you're traveling, if you're carrying on with any kind of a future plan as well, you are doing your homework right. You're putting in your 110% before you actually go ahead with any endeavor. Okay, so that is very, very important. It is also not advisable to get into any kind of a conflict regarding religion, or get into a conflict with your father-like figures, teachers, etc. Because you may realize in the long run that it did not help. It just wasted your time. You wasted your time, wasted your energy. So don't get into any kind of a situation like that. Those of you who are looking at going through some competition, going through some competitive exams, could also see some delay over here. So be prepared for that. Use your time wisely in other initiatives. Then we move on to the next sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Mars rules the 12th and the 5th house. It's also a Yoga Karak for Sagittarius. And here in this transit, Mars goes to the 8th house in the sign of Cancer. It's sign of debilitation. So here you could feel that there's some transformation happening as regards your beliefs, as regards your way of thinking, the way you were expressing your creativity, right? So 5th lord is also the lord of creativity, your expression as such. You could see some changes there. You may change the way you express yourself as well. You may change the way you spend. Okay, Mars is also your 12th lord. So here you could feel that, if you were not spending so well till now, you might just feel that, okay, let go. Let me just go about making this particular expenditure which I have been waiting for. So what? I will buy this. I will buy this XYZ items which I have been waiting for. So while this is okay, but you may have the financial resources as well, make sure that you don't stretch way beyond. Stretch within limits. Do whatever is feasible. Do whatever is practical. Because the 12th Lord Mars is under debilitation here. So sometimes certain decisions can just lead to extra expenditure, extra loss somewhere. Right? So, and as regards, love matters are concerned, romantic matters are concerned, also you could lose your temper, or you may feel like breaking up from somebody, going away from a relationship because of some differences. The differences might be minor. You might be taking an impulsive decision right now. So have some patience, show some patience for others as well. Be emotionally more aware and available for people. That is my advice to you. Then we move on to the next sign of Capricorn. So see, for Capricorn, Mars is the 4th Lord. Mars is the 11th Lord as well. And it debilitates in the 7th house of spouse, of marriage, partnership, other people. So here you may feel that this transit could impact your relationship with your life partner. Your domestic environment could get affected. So you're looking at your practical goals, you're looking at your ambitions, but somehow you may feel disconnected from home. You may feel disconnected with your spouse. There could be minor issues which create problems, which create arguments. So be mindful of your relationship with your spouse. Be very mindful of your relationship with your business partner also. So always take into consideration what the other person is saying, and that will help you in the long run as well. Health wise, those of you who are going through any health troubles, or you have any chronic health problems, especially the lower abdomen, the stomach area, the lower abdomen, or the reproductive organs, one should take care. You should take care of yourself. You should get checked, address any issues at hand, okay? And take care of your domestic environment. So the way you're managing your home, the way you're spending your energy at home with your family members, with your mother, with your children as such, also needs to be checked, right? Then we move on to the next sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, Mars is the ruler of the 3rd house and also the 10th house, and it debilitates in the 6th house. So what does it do? Your communication with your colleagues, your communication with the people whom you're dealing with on a daily basis could get affected. You could lose temper over people who are working for you, your subordinates. That is something which you need to take care of. Your superiors as well. Your relationship with superiors could also be a challenge during this time. So please make sure that you maintain relationships properly at work, outside office, at home. And there is also some amount of tension. Those of you who are undergoing some marital issues or some relationship problems or some trouble in your partnership business could also face some amount of tension, some strife here. So you'll have to sit through it. I would advise not to take any major decision till Mars is here in the sign of Cancer. So you might get instigated by what others are saying. You might feel the urge to react, or maybe to take a major step sometimes, but that initiative may or may not go right. That step may or may not go right. So make sure that you are handling your relationships well, and your communication at work is pleasant, okay? Or if you do not agree with people, Be quiet. Do not voice your opinion at each and every occasion. Then we move on to the next sign and the last sign of Pisces. So for Pisces, Mars is the second lord and Mars also rules the 9th house. So the second and the 9th houses are ruled by Mars, and it is debilitating in the 5th house. Children wise, there could be some difficulty. Okay, there could be tension in the family because of children. There could be tension or children do something which irritates you, or you find difficulty in managing your children. You have too much to do. Managing children is a problem. Managing your relationship with your father could be a problem. Okay, so here managing and kind of tackling everybody at home is something which you need to look after. You could also see that expenditure is happening on children, on your long-term journeys, on higher education. So be prepared for expenditure as well. And if you are undergoing some kind of a family dispute, inheritance issues, this is not a time to take any major decision or at least any initiative from your side. So wait out, watch what the other party is doing, watch what the other person is doing, and then be reactive later. It is very important during this time to listen to professional advice. So if you are stuck in any kind of a situation, please do not try to resolve it all by yourself. Take relevant advice. There are experts for each and every field these days. Take advice, take professional counsel, and then tackle any problem which you might face. Yeah. So that was all about Mars transiting into the sign of Cancer and the effect on all the 12 signs. I shall be back soon with another video. Till then, God bless you. Take care, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you. Bye-bye.